Welcome to the Carnage Canyon edition of the ultimate four-wheel drive adventure. As the next day breaks, our worst fears are realized as throughout the night we had continued rains.
Everybody's still asleep, so we have our coffee and then we'll wait. It's more relaxed, nature, and the rock crawling is excellent. It's something different.
As the sun slowly starts to rise through the grey clouds, the campsite starts to wake up. The unexpected rain had caused some difficulties throughout the night. Ludwig tells us more.
It was, I got a little bit wet last night. We thought that the rain would subside 5 minutes after it started, and unfortunately it didn't end well. So, yeah.
But once again, I didn't read the instructions.
Like most guys do, if it fails, read the instructions. So yeah, we forgot to put the fly sheets on top, and that obviously makes them quite waterproof, not like now.
We're from McCarthy Toyota Cinderville, representing the McCarthy 4x4 Club. We are the official recovery vehicles for the Pitbull series, and this weekend we are also the support vehicles for this event.
Nicholas gives us a quick update about what the day will hold for the drivers.
We have to speak to Ronald this morning. He's the guy that knows it the best. The last thing I want is to have 20 cars up at the top and get caught with the flash flood. There's no exit route, so we have to think of the safety first today and have a chat with Ronald and see what he decides.
After a couple of phone calls, it was decided that a possibility of a flash flood was marginal and the adventure gets back underway. Ahead in the pack, Nicholas still only has three-wheel drives, leaving the guys to tease him that he is driving a tricycle. At least his LED lights are still working.
Well, as you've seen back, it's not too crazy, but it's going to just up around the next bend. You'll see quite a vast difference in the speed that we're actually covering, and probably damage that vehicles will start to sustain. It's going to be a little bit more.
Because of the rain and slipping, what kind of things do you think is most likely to break on the cars?
Look, strangely enough, when the rocks are wet, we find that it's more like damage from slippage on the sides of the vehicle. But because it's slippery, the guys take it easy. They shouldn't turn side shafts and that kind of thing. It will be pretty much just general body damage, underneath carriage damage, slight axle damage that they can take. But overall, shouldn't be too bad. But it's going to go slow going when we start getting around what we call Dead Dog Gorge, just around the corner here. It's going to get a little tricky. So things will slow up a little bit. Making good coverage now, but I think it's going to slow up. We'll see. It's going to get exciting.
The wet conditions brought on by the rain increases the difficulty of the challenge and changes the canyon in unforeseeable ways. This is where things start to get a bit trickier. Bigger gaps start to emerge between the groups of cars as the rain causes more distress for some than others. Keeping to slower speeds, control must be maintained in these conditions, as falling the wrong way can lead to unwanted and unavoidable damage to the vehicle. Dirk van Rienen guiding his son, Dirk van Rienen Jr., over what yesterday would have been an easy obstacle. But thanks to the rain, this must now be approached completely differently. luckily equipped with rock sliders that help to protect the body. Here you can see the practical use of these that are often considered to be cosmetic. In this case, it's saving Dirk from spending thousands of rands on panel beating. Catching up, Hannes and Gert Opperman working hard to get over the obstacles. The TJs do have less ground clearance compared to the JK. His handicap leads to great entertainment for the guys as these two fellows become bridge engineers in order to solve this mess. At least they get to play with the high lift jack.
Kijk, ik kan niet dit. Je breekt hem maar.
Hannes and Jan doing very well when they aren't running out of petrol, making it look easy up until they hit a snag. Look at the huge difference such a small rock can make. Taylor's brother, Johan Swift, and Gerdus give us an update on their progress.
So I've known Gerdus for about probably 5 years, and on a trail like this it's absolutely critical that I think the co-driver and the driver understand each other. I think communication has never ever been more important than this, especially on a technical trail like this. It's quite challenging, and the tolerances are few. You know, you have to be very careful and accurate in what you do and the line that you follow. And I think with a good co-driver, I think that goes a far way in making sure that you take the right line.
Back with Leon in his AT Series Toyota, who aims to impress. Some mouths hung open as this stock standard vehicle goes diving into the abyss. Traction is an issue for Leon. The car pulls this way and that, making this even more difficult. Sustaining some body damage as he emerges from the water. Deciding a winch will help prevent unnecessary damage, Leon gets back on track.
You'll clean this. Yeah. Next one is going to be interesting.
This is not the beach.
No, this isn't the beach. The beach is...
The Peanut Gallery chimes in with some useless information. At this point, the leaders are nearing the end of the canyon. In about 500 meters, they'll reach the spot dubbed the beach. But there are still 3 large obstacles between them and glory. This is a spectacular section where choosing the right line is crucial. Misjudging the wrong line of attack could lead to some serious body damage. Martin with Henk in tow to help overcome both the rock and technical difficulties. Henk back in action, moving over onto solid ground, making him the first vehicle through the section. Ronald in his Toyota with the impressive top truck of Nico coming up from behind. This is the kind of obstacle that top trucks live for. Something that can challenge these machines and their mastery over the extreme.
These rocks are huge, the cars are designed for them, so let's see what they've got.
Lawrence Nolte, not to be outdone in his monster, coming through here. JJ in his Jeep. JJ has come all the way from the Eastern Cape, a J-Bay local, not a man who enjoys shoes. Just before the trip, 4x4 Traction made modifications to JJ's suspension and equipped him with new steering arms. Looks like the changes are working out for him. Sections like this are why this place carries the name Carnage Canyon. Even the most hardened 4x4 driver will break a sweat between these mountains. This is where the men get separated from the boys. The Oppermans have done some waterproofing to their interior. Patent pending. Holding thumbs for you guys. As they lift themselves out of trouble, we move on to the second last obstacle on the road to the beach. Spectators have pulled up to watch the action. Billy and Jenny on this very steep drop-off. The feeling you get inside that car must be intense. It's a moment that must be experienced and no camera angle can do it justice. Everything is moving the wrong way as you try and make your way down and the angles are always against you. Gravity is also not your friend when in a situation like this. Nico in his top truck. 46-inch tires and as barely gets caught. That's saying something about the obstacle he's attempting. Next up is Bruce and Brian, with Ludwig lending some outside assistance. Showing us the benefits of rear wheel steering as he makes it up. The first group of vehicles have already reached the beach. This is the end of the gorge and as far as you can go in Carnage Canyon. The moment that sand cracks under your feet is an achievement in itself. But Nico decides to push the limits and see if he can't make it a little further. Coming down, his 46-inch tires disappear completely under the water, making him the driver of the first vehicle to perform these aerobatics on the rock faces at the beach. This feat of daring has seen Nico secure the title of the King of the Canyon. A well-deserved honor indeed.
Yeah, you know, I came fast. I told the guys, you know, let's go all out. Why not? The 46-inch tire disappeared completely underneath the water. Almost got stuck. Actually, here by the sand patch here, we couldn't see how deep it was, so we just crawled through it and it was deep sand. But the car went well.
A total of 9 vehicles make it to the beach, with the other vehicles unable to make it to this point, or the drivers deciding to rather not push that hard. One more soul makes it to the fabled beach, Pierre and Arne in their red Rubicon. Taking a moment to celebrate their victory and take some photos to commemorate this accomplishment. Then it's time to head back out of this beautiful canyon and return to the real world. Although much fun was had, as with all competitions, there comes a time when the scores must be tallied. First, let's have a look at the results from the night time trial. Johan Swift and Gerdus Kutsia from Team Zone Off-Road taking the best time of 42.88 seconds. In second place, we have Dirk van Rienen Jr. that sets a time of 46.16 seconds. With that, Corné van der Merwe and Freddie Siebert, also from Team Zone Off-Road, take the third position with 47.06 seconds. Next, we have the results from the Flexing Challenge. These results are split into a top truck and a standard section. In the top truck class division, we have, in first place, Nico and Jacqueline Fourie with an RTI of 1,106 points. Lo Nolte in second place with an RTI of 1,077. And in third place is Linton Swatton sporting an RTI of 1,039. Moving over to the standard section, Hannes Opperman takes the pole position with an RTI of 1,018 points. JJ Jacobs in second with 970, and in third, Peter Rademeyer with an RTI of 900. The overall winner of the ultimate four-wheel drive adventure Carnage Canyon edition goes to Nico Fourie, who can proudly carry the title of King of the Canyon. A special thanks to our broadcast sponsors Maxxis Tires, Part Inform, as well as Ultimate Off-Road and Pitbull Energy. Also to the other sponsors that made this ultimate event a reality. On that note, the first ever ultimate four-wheel drive adventure comes to a close. The Carnage Canyon edition is a tale that will be told for years to come. But what does the next one hold in store? The location of the next expedition is still unrevealed, and word has it it's been kept close to the chest, as drivers might not know where the adventure will take them. The ultimate four-wheel drive adventure, Carnage Canyon Edition 2015.